Hello, my League of Eagles, and welcome to Leaders in Light, Love, and Legacy. We are live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fave Unite Radio FM. I'm Joy Ruffin, your minister of enlightenment, awareness, and awakenings, and your signature style and leadership specialist. You're ready to step into the woman you were always meant to be, to own your presence, elevate your style, and lead with unapologetic confidence. This is where it starts. This is a space where bold conversations ignite. You, the prayer would be. We shine a light on your power, your presence, and your purpose, and explore the beautiful balance of the divine masculine and divine feminine. We all carry within us both, because here we're going to discover how to align them fully in heart, mind, and soul. Each week, my League of Eagles, I'm joined by a dynamic guest speaker who brings fresh wisdom, fierce insights, and unapologetic truth to the table. Oh, and are you in a treat or a treat today? And whether you are good morning, good afternoon, good evening, maybe to a few of you, good night, wherever you are, you're always welcome here. Because if you're craving more style, more depth, more purpose, you're exactly where you're meant to be. I'd love it if you visit my website at www.joyruffinwithane.com to book your complimentary one-on-one with me, and let's awaken the radiance that's been waiting within you. And if we haven't met, I'd love to connect personally. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Joy Ruffin, Fashioning Femininity, Style, and Truth, where the conversation continues and the inspiration never ends. Now let's get to today's featured guest speaker. This featured guest speaker is a dynamic woman that you're going to love, and I want you to sit back, buckle in, and just tune in and listen. Because what you're going to do is you're going to meet my featured guest speaker when I bring her up in just a second. Her name is Sheila. Now, all of you know I have an issue with pronunciation, but it's Balgobin, I think, and if not, she'll correct me. She's known as the Dream Decipherer, and she helps clients to crack the code of their sleep and their dreams so they can create their best life. Don't you love that? Of course you do. We all know, and she's going to share with us a lot about this. Dreams are the beginning seeds of many great inventions that we're all privy to. She's a fifth-generation dreamer, gifted with the ability to interpret dreams. Sheila is also a natural intuitive, and she combines her gift with several holistic therapies and psychotherapy to best support her clients. I could go on and on and on, but what do you care? You don't. You want to meet Sheila. So Sheila, as they say on the telly, come on up. How are you?
Hello, Joy. It's nice to be here again with you. I mean, it's a pleasure to be back and sharing with you and with your audience. I'm doing quite well. I mean, we had our little glitches with technology as always, but we got through it. And here we are.
This is what I love about you, Sheila. You ride the wave as I do, and I'm not a tech genius as you and many of the beautiful souls that I bring here are, but you had the patience and we rode right through it, and here we are. So beautiful. I am in awe of the work that you do, and I don't brown nose, I don't sugarcoat, candy coat, and I think you might know that. And many of the people who are tuning in out there, wherever they are, because we're global, I'm sure they will get to know both of us. But tell us, give us like a little bit about the beginning, about how you came to do this, because I find it exciting, really.
Well, it's not a matter of doing so much as more a case of being. It's not what, it's not what I do, it's who I am. It's an integral part of who I am. And when I step away, when I have occasionally strayed away from doing what I was born to do, I've actually come a cropper. So I've just learned it's like, no, it's not worth it's not worth deviating, because it only gets me into trouble. So It really is an integral part of who I am. It's funny because when you talk to, you're at a party and you talk to people,
Mm-hmm.
and quite often you say, you don't ask them how they are or, what their interests are. You ask them, what do they do? And for men, it's particularly bad because
Uh-huh.
once they retire or they lose their job, they're like nobody in their eyes because they no longer have what they do. So this is what, for me, being ourselves means is not what we do, but who we are. We're human beings, not human doings. And we seem to forget that from time to time.
Sheila, I have never, ever in my 100,000 years back and forth, whether you believe in reincarnation or not, as I do, heard it expressed and explained so brilliantly with such clarity. Because it is not what we do, it's who we are. It's in the case of our being. That was beautiful. I'm so glad this is recorded because I want to go back and listen to this myself. So that said, and people do ask you, what do you do? When people retire, they don't know whatever. And you say,
Yeah.
it's who I am. It's my case of being. When did you come to that? Or was that always a knowing within you?
Well, I think it's nature and nurture. My father named me his little maverick when I was born. So I don't know if that was self-fulfilling prophecy or just an accurate reading of my personality. I'm not sure. Maybe a bit of both. But I've always just gone my own way. I mean, sometimes not very comfortably, but it's when I try to fit in, so to speak, it just doesn't work. It's like that's just goes against the grain. It's not who I am. It's like, love me or hate me, you're not indifferent to me, but I'm not going to change unless it's in my interest and my part of my growth to change.
I love that because when you say you've always gone your own way, I think, Sheila, today, another way of saying that, and so many say it, and I am guilty because I really like it. I like your gone my own way. I'm out of the box. I've always been out of the box, and maybe that's why we have this connection. But out of the box is a good thing if you remain open to at least tuning into what other people have to say and do, which I know that you do because of the work that you're doing. So, in that you have gone your own way and you felt not fit in, when did it become like a business that was self-fulfilling for you, becoming the Dream Decipherer? I don't know why I'm having a hard time with that word. That's big time for me.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
Not to worry. Well, it was something that as an adult I had to come to terms with. It wasn't something that I arrived with and one day just said, well, here I am, I'm doing this work and come one and come all. It didn't quite turn out like that. It was really coming to accept myself as I was and who I was and that was a process and that took time. But officially, I would say it was in 2017 at a women's retreat in Marrakesh in Morocco that the penny really dropped for me. I had created a course and it sat gathering dust for 2 or 3 years on my bookshelf. And at this retreat, it finally became clear to me that not only did I have a viable course that could be monetized, but that people were actually interested in what I was able to provide. So that was, I would say, the official start. But I had been, even though it shying away from telling people I could work with dreams and understood them while I was growing up, for the simple reason it was just, especially with young people, you don't want to be too different. And I was just different. I really was different. So it was something that I really just kind of shied away from, though I continued to to record my dreams, to listen to the dreams of others. People always, from a young age, people were always like telling me their stories and whatnot. So I've had years of practice listening to people. So it's no wonder I became a psychotherapist eventually. It just seemed to go together. And the fact that actually being a psychotherapist was my saving grace, because I could talk about dreams without people thinking I was weird or crazy. I mean, it was part of my therapeutic work with clients. So it was the in a sense, the perfect vehicle for me to be able to do what I do and not have people kind of side eye me thinking like, what is this woman going on about? And interestingly enough, when I would tell clients, we'd meet for the first time, and it's like, well, I happen to work with dreams, if that's of interest to you. And almost invariably, they would say, oh, I had a dream last night or 2 days ago or whatever it was. And it was uncanny every single time that they had a dream to share. It would frame their situation and give us a starting point. So, and occasionally during the sessions, they would have other dreams, and the dreams were basically like little flags sent up by the unconscious saying, well, yeah, you're on the right track here. Or, nope, sorry, you're off with the fairies with this one. Sorry, try again. So it was not the patient. The clients were not just dreaming for themselves; they were actually dreaming for me. And I talk about that as that we don't, because we're psychically we're all connected. It's the reason why people in different parts of the world can come up with the same invention or books that are very, very similar, because that energy is floating around in the ether, and whoever is receptive to it will pull it down. I have an example of my own of that happening.
Wow.
The woman who wrote the book, Live, Love, Laugh. Yeah.
Yes. I
Yes.
do.
Now she wrote another book, and it's called The Big Dream.
Yes.
But what was funny about this book was that she talks about how these coincidences that, people write books, like I said, different parts of the world are the same. And her theory is that, well, this energy, because everything is about energy, is floating around. And anybody, if somebody one person isn't receptive to it, it'll go someplace else.
Exactly.
And she had a book that she was writing that somebody else had almost the exact same thing. Me personally, my husband and I, more than 40 years ago, my first husband and I, we were up late, we were hungry, we went rummaging around in our fridge for leftovers. And what we created was something I dubbed Mexican lasagna, because of all of the different things that we made.
Right.
Years later, I have a cookbook sitting here in my bookcase behind me.
You're kidding.
There's a recipe, Mexican lasagna, and it's like, I'll be damned. It's just like, but I had the idea, and I know 40 years ago we had this idea, and it was the middle of the night. So I'm pretty sure we were the first ones to do it. But that energy was out there, and it went to somebody else. So they put it in the cookbook. But I know we did it first. So I'm not, I was like, I don't need the kudos. But that just goes to show that energetically we're connected. I've had clients and colleagues who they've asked questions in their dreams. And like one colleague, she asked a question in her dream, and her husband answered it the next day while they were awake. A good friend of mine who dreams a lot, he was giving spiritual teachings to one of his sons, his oldest son, and the son's friend. And the next day, the son came and said, I was hearing these words or something, and started to repeat back more or less what the father had been saying or teaching in the dream state. So, we don't just dream for ourselves, we dream for others as well. And there's whole communities that do that. The Aborigine people, for example, dream time. You have here in the US, you have the Hopi and Navajo people who dream the world that their great grandchildren are going to inherit. Wow. So, there's communities in Asia, communities in Africa. I mean, there's still communities that still set great store by dreams and give them great credence and respect. It's only the Western world that has become, they were so scientificized. That is the only word I can create that makes sense. But they've gone so far into the science of things, the bean counters and the measurers and whatnot of things, that anything that smacked of simplicity was deemed unworthy. Dreams were not real. They were not tangible. They were the result of cheap wine and bad cheese. So not to be given much credence. But you know where that comes from? That actually comes from this, like the 16th century. The 15th, 16th century. And the reason why, which is why today we have health and we have mental health. Woo-hoo. As if the head is not connected to the body, or vice versa. Because back in the day, when the church really rocked and ruled stuff, they would tell people like Michelangelo, you can just cut up the body and do what you want with it, but the soul belongs to us. And the soul was considered to be in the mind or in the heart. So you couldn't mess with the mind. You weren't supposed to touch that, because that was, with the domain of the church, and you didn't contradict the church. This day, we have mental health and physical health, as if, the two aren't related in any way. It's insane.
It is insane. It is. Sheila, you are delivering so much platinum here. I want to breathe and back up a little bit. Because what you're doing, you and I could go on and on. I find that with most everyone that I adore. But let me say this. You said that a lot of young people came to you and they wanted you to support and help them in understanding their dreams. I believe it's all energy, just like you. But that blending the old and the new and helping them and so on. But the book that you mentioned, I remember Oprah making this a big deal. Eat, Pray, Love with Elizabeth Gilbert. That was the name of the book. Yes. About. She's written, and for her, Sheila, it was a journey of self-discovery, as it is with all of us in different ways.
Yes, absolutely.
And then she discovered a whole different thing about herself later on. I mean, it's fascinating. But what you're saying about dreaming and energy, and it helps us to remember, and what you and your husband did when you were both scrawling through the refrigerator. That's a good story.
I mean, literally just scrounging around whatever we had as leftovers, we put together and created this dish.
And you gave it that name.
Yeah, Mexican lasagna, because it was Mexican spices and refried beans. And it's actually very healthy because it doesn't use any meat at all. It uses tofu and just a little bit of cheese. Yeah, it's very healthy, actually.
That is uncanny. Uncanny.
But I mean, that was the whole, it's a Big Magic is the name of the book. Big Magic.
I love that. Love the title.
It's like these crazy kind of so-called coincidences, but you know what coincidences are. They're just minor miracles in which God remains anonymous, which I think is brilliant. A brilliant way of putting it. But
I don't think I've ever heard that before. Say that again, Sheila.
I think it was actually Ben Franklin who said it, but he says a coincidence is a minor miracle in which God remains anonymous.
Ooh, I love that. I love that. Love that. I never heard that, and I'm very familiar. I used to be a voracious reader. Let's get to what you're talking about in a different way. Let's talk about it. Dreams have the power. You talked to it in a different way to transform our lives and our businesses. So
yes.
Food for thought and ammunition that we can utilize just on that one statement that you gave me. Dreams have that power to transform our lives and businesses.
Absolutely, they do. One example, I mean, and this is a Jungian psychotherapist who's also a minister. And he wrote a sermon once, and he said he'd never had so much argument and lively conversation about any subject. But it says, what did he say? Your neuroses is a low-level spiritual experience. Boy, did people they really flipped on that one. But
I bet.
there's to give you an example of how pertinent dreams can be and how important and life-changing they can be.
Yes.
I'll give you an example from my own life. I mean, I've had one set of dreams that brought my second husband back into my life after many years of being apart, and we ended up marrying and having 25 years together. Woo! Now, another set of dreams had actually saved my life. So, I mean, when I say that dreams can have the power to transform lives, they can literally save lives as well. I mean, there's studies that have been done around women with who have experienced going through breast cancer treatment. And there is a correlation, and research is showing this, that there is a correlation between some women, not all, but many women actually having dreams that were precursors of the cancer.
I like that.
I mean, and it's not isolated cases. I had a client when I was still living in London who she got health information about heart health information, to be specific, from her dreams after taking a course, my dream interpretation course. She had this set of dreams and then realized what it was, what the dreams were trying to tell her, and made some changes to be able to make her have a healthy heart, or healthier heart. We've got job information. Others who had been suffering with post-traumatic stress found that working with their dreams, and there's research around that as well, is particularly with people who working with people who are lucid dreamers, first of all. And using their experiences to be able to teach people with PTSD how to enter and control their dreams. Now, funnily enough, I found out not too long ago that a cousin of mine actually has that natural ability to be able to change her dreams. She lucidly dreams, and if there's something in the dream that she doesn't like, she changes it. Now, most of us, that's extreme, that's rare. That's the only person I've known personally that lucidly dreams like that. I lucidly dream as well, but I mean, it's like my thing with lucid dreaming is I'm observing. And looking at things from a different angle. But she's like, no, she intervenes. She's like, no, don't like that. I'm not having it. And she changes. She flips it. So,
wow.
It's a powerful tool in different ways if we know how to take advantage of it. And that's the thing. Most people, like I said, to them, it's about, cheap wine. And cheese at night or some such nonsense that people come up with as to why they may have dreams.
Yeah,
But
Sheila, how with your knowing, I'm sure most people who are tuning in now and those who will come later and whatever will want to know somewhat, maybe to begin the journey themselves of exploration. How does she do that? How does she intervene, get into the psyche of her dream and change it, alter maybe something about it, good, bad, or indifferent? How do you said you have dreams too. Most of us,
I mean,
we're going to talk about it a wee bit later. I don't remember half of my dreams. So how does she do that? As far as you know?
I mean, like I said, she's not able to, give an explanation. It's just something that she seems to have a gift for. That's her way of working with dreams. I mean, she's also an artist, so maybe that's where she gets inspiration for her paintings. I don't know.
Okay.
But it's I even did a course on lucid dreaming because, like I said, it's something that people have to practice. Unless they have some kind of already have natural ability, most of us have to work at being able to do that. And there's certain exercises and things that you can do to be able to get into a lucid dreaming state.
Let's get to the basics, Sheila. Let's get to the basics. I never assume anything anymore, and neither do you.
Right.
I know somewhat. But if you're a lucid dreamer, what does that mean? Because there are a lot of dreamers like myself. You might dream a short brief. They're usually short and brief, and I don't remember them after a while. So what is a lucid dreamer? Meaning what? You're able to retain, or what does that mean?
Being a lucid dreamer means basically there's still a part of your brain that's awake and able to observe the dream. So you become your own observer.
So I had a different take on that. Okay. You become your own observer. Okay. So that means probably in doing that, you're able to retain and remember more.
Probably. I mean, because you're awake in a sense. It's an interesting state. You're awake and you're not awake. It's like that philosophical question: is the cat alive or dead? Remember that from school. It's really a philosophical. It depends on your point of view.
It does.
But there, like I said, to be able to hold that space of being aware, even while you're asleep, is something that most of us, without practice, cannot do. It really is, like I said, that's why I created a course with exercises and whatnot to help people to be able to tap into lucid dreaming more. Because it's a skill in a sense. It's a gift for some people, but it's a skill and you have to work at it.
I love that, because all the time you're sharing with us, Sheila, that's what I'm thinking. It's a craft or a skill that you, over time, if you're that keen and interested, you have to perfect it. You have to work at it.
Yeah.
And you become your own observer in a dream. Because I would think, and let me ask you this because I don't know, do you think the majority of people, we're talking large generalizations here, remember their dreams after a time, or what? How does that work?
Well, I've run into, over the years, a lot of people saying, "Oh, I don't dream. I don't remember my dreams." And all mammals dream, and even invertebrates, they're finding out, like spiders dream. So it's not that people don't dream, but there could be things that could be impediments to dreaming, from medication, whether legal or illegal, alcohol, anxiety and stress. If the person is ill, maybe. So, there's different things that could possibly impact a person's ability not only to sleep well, but to reach the deeper levels of the sleep cycle where dreaming takes place. If even having your smartphone or your smart TV or baby monitor,
Deadly.
in your bedroom is enough to disturb your sleep. I mean, I've had people who's like, it's like, oh, 10 years, I haven't had a good night's sleep, 15 years. And it's like, take the bloody monitors out of your room. It's like, there's only two things you should be doing in your bedroom. And one of them is not watching TV.
Yes,
So,
yes.
so take them out. Put them as far away from your sleeping place as possible. And even people who have had, years of poor sleep find immediately that they sleep better just by doing something as simple as that.
I think the way you're explaining all of this to us, the profundity of it is really deep, because the impact of what affects our sleep, this phone has become an addiction for most all of us.
Oh, well, psychotherapists have recognized quite some time that people are addicted to their phones. I mean, if you get up in the morning and before even turning to your partner to say good morning, you're on your phone, you got a problem.
Exactly.
I'll never forget, and this was years ago when smartphones first came out. My goddaughter in London, she had gotten a BlackBerry, I think it was, from her for her birthday.
Yes.
And something happened to it. She dropped it, whatever the case was, but her dad took it to get it repaired. Do you know, that child cried like somebody beat her because she couldn't have her phone. You look at 2-year-olds these days, you take the phone away from them, which they can use better than their parents and grandparents, and they start to scream, because the pleasure receptors, are being pushed. The buttons are being pushed in their little brains, so they're already addicted. We're creating a nation of addicts. It's just, oh my God.
I'm so glad to
hear you.
Don't
get me started.
No, don't get me started, because I'm so glad to hear it. I don't ever have to be running with the pack, but I know for my limited knowing that this is a fact. And especially with our younger generation, because my generation, I'm a happy senior, we didn't deal with it that way. We have it and we utilize it. But like you said, taking it out of the bedroom and put it away. For a while, but a friend said to me, now I leave my phone in the office and I don't use it until that following morning. But that's something you have to create that habit, Sheila. And it's not easy for our young people. It really isn't. But the way that you spoke to how different things impact our dream cycle, because I have to say, not from deep medication or anything like that, take a lot of vitamin supplements. I'm really not a big dreamer, but when I do dream, I remember it for a short time. So what you just said gave me explanation for that and why maybe.
Well, you also have to remember that because we're so easily distracted, especially these days. I call it the Facebook generation. Every flip, stop, flip, stop. It's like we have the attention spans of 5-year-olds. It's just unbelievable. So what happens now as a result of that is that we don't have the patience or tolerance for anything. We have no coping skills, basically.
I like your terminology. You said the Facebook or whatever, and I call it we're in the Insta society. Everybody wants everything yesterday. We don't have time to wait, and I'm somewhat guilty myself. So I get that. What do you call it? The Facebook what? The Facebook whatever?
Facebook. I call it the Facebook generation.
Yeah. That's what
it's like, I mean, the people's attention spans have gotten shorter and shorter and shorter. It's just insane.
And reading, people don't read anymore, and I'm someone
they don't.
I was a voracious reader, but now it's a whole different ball game. Let's talk about, before we wrap up and get some. I'm going to share one of the recent dreams that I can remember tidbits of, not much of it, but what are some of the inventions and the creations? People, I never assumed that a lot of people know, but a lot of us don't know some of the great creations, the inventions that came about because of a dream. So what can you share with us, because people like this kind of information, it will alter and stick with them about that?
Well, let's see. There's this company that people might recognize that was the result of a dream. You use it every day, sometimes several times a day. And they're everywhere. they've even become a verb.
Ooh.
So,
Do I
so
know
what are we? Who are we talking about here? We're talking about Google.
Oh, I thought so.
Yeah. So you're talking about, Google was the result of a dream. You're talking about Einstein's E equals MC squared, the result of a dream. You're talking about irons, the novel Frankenstein, hit songs by the Rolling Stones and the Beatles. I mean, all hit movies. All kinds of things have been created or invented because of dreams. So I can only ask people, it's like, well, what exactly are you missing out on by not listening? Are you sitting on a Google? And if what great idea, what breakthrough, scientific breakthrough or health breakthrough could you be sitting on? Or just a great business idea.
Yes.
That is being ignored or dismissed out of hand simply because it came in a dream. So you have to think about how fertile the mind is. The mind, we're 24/7, 365. The mind is active. The dream state, when it is, replaying stuff or creating stuff or whatever it's doing in that dream, the brain is firing and is as active in terms of the brain waves as if the person is awake. So so you're talking about the brain is busy. It's busy creating stuff. It's busy sorting through stuff. It's busy doing the garbage detail because it gets rid of the plaque in the brain that can cause things like Alzheimer's and dementia.
Oh my goodness.
It helps consolidate memories. So, the brain is busy constantly.
Yes. Yes.
And it's a hotbed of ideas if we allow it this space and time to actually do that. But everything is, I won it 3 days ago. I'm not willing to wait. I don't, it's like instant gratification is the name of the game. And sometimes things need to sit. I mean, I'm a writer. I've written several books, and it's just like, I laugh because I've started writing again but I was like, I needed to wait for that energy to for the inspiration. And inspiration is a very interesting word. For the simple reason that it literally comes from the Latin and it means to breathe in spirit. So it's literally spirit coming into us, and then we take that energy and produce something with it. So to be inspired is literally to have spirit enter in and give you something that you can produce.
Wow. Woo! I love the way you string your words together. I love the word inspiration, and it leads me to interpretation, which I'm going to ask you about in a moment. But what you said, breathe in spirit, it's a matter of having spirit breathe into you when you're open. I think I understand the word inspiration, but I've never heard it put together so eloquently. And that's beautiful. I don't know. I didn't retain who you said that came from, but it's beautiful. Let's talk to interpretation, because I remember once we alluded to it briefly, because people interpret things differently. Now, I think I used the analogy with you once, Sheila, and you gave me a good analysis of that in a positive way. Because most people think of the black cat as being a negative thing. So how does one decipher and go back and forth between good, bad, and so-so when it comes to dreams? Because the dream that I'm going to share with you, I'm thinking, I don't think that's maybe so good, but I think it was giving me a message about something, though. So what is it about interpretation that you want to share with me before I...
The thing is with... it's subjective in that what a black cat, and I'll use the analogy again, what a black cat means in my dreams is not necessarily what it's going to mean in yours.
Exactly.
So you the only way to really get a handle on what a dream is trying to say is that you have to be able to understand what the symbols are, because the symbols become a kind of visual shorthand. And everyone's symbols are going to be different because it's based on their lives, their experience, the people, places, and things in their world. Mm-hmm. So it's occasionally when we're dreaming about things that impact many people, like, just before the pandemic hit, I had people from across the planet dreaming about bugs, dreaming about insect infestations, bugs, dreaming about Asia, particularly China. So, I mean, it's what I started. We started this conversation. I said that energy is out there. It's literally floating around us all the time. And sometimes some people are more, have a greater tendency to be able to tap into that energy and capture it than others are. Most people are unaware.
Yeah. Okay. I think that registers. That's impactful because, again, it's never all. It's some, many, and a few, maybe, whatever. But I just think the work that you're doing is so timely. It's always been, but now more so, because especially for us women, that's why I have the divine masculine and feminine combined, because it's divine femininity and it's really time for our awakening. That's why I think we as women need each other more than ever before. And so this dream that I'm going to share with you before we close out here, I'm not going to qualify. I'm just going to share with you a little bit about what I remember. And this was maybe 3 or 4 days ago. And it was like 2 women in a kitchen.
Okay.
And I don't think I was in the dream, but yet this is what I remember. I couldn't, well, I don't know if you see yourself, but 2 women in the kitchen, one was cooking, and the feeling from the other, or maybe it was me, was something wasn't right in that kitchen. And it wasn't a good feeling. And it's like they were sharing. And then there were some words that I can't remember. So I'm thinking, what is this implying? What does this mean? That's all that I can remember about this dream.
Okay. Was the person, first of all, the person known to you, that, or either of the people in the dream known to you?
No, I couldn't recognize either of them or even myself. It's like maybe I was looking and viewing them. And it seemed, or maybe I'm interpreting and putting so that they were sharing this room, this kitchen, this cooking. And it's something about it didn't feel right for me.
Okay. Now, forget about the characters so much right now.
Yes.
But I always tell people to follow the feeling. Where in your waking life do you feel that something may not be off, that people may be cooking something up? I mean, you remember that the unconscious mind works in images, but also can use play on words and puns and different strategies to capture our attention. So what came to me listening to this, it's like, what are people cooking up? What's going on? Maybe behind the scenes. That's where I would say, where do you get that same sensation in your waking life?
I'm only laughing because I don't have to be right, but after thinking about it for a little bit and then putting it aside, I'm thinking, when you said the way cooking something up, I'm thinking about us women today and how the programming and the conditioning has been so pervasive, and our sexuality is shown through more than our power and our owning who we are. So that's what I'm finding maybe distasteful about this setting.
Could be. But listen to the words you're even using here. You see what I'm saying? You see what I mean?
I do. And I also feel that this is part of my mission to wake those of us who want to be. That's why I call us the League of Eagles. But you've already brought something home to me. Sheila, this is fantastic. We'll have to do this again. I want you to share with the audience, I mean, even though it's radio, where they can find you and what you're offering and what kind of sessions. Give whatever information you want to as we close. And thank you. This has been, wow, you have opened me up beyond. I love it.
Oh, oh, well, it's always a pleasure talking with you. We always seem to find so many common points.
Yes.
But if people want to catch up with me, they can basically look for the Dream Decipherer, and you can find me on pretty much every platform, whether you're talking about Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. My own website is crackyourdreamcode,
Love that.
all one word, .com. So there's more information about me there as well. But you can always, through the website or through one of the platforms, be able to get in touch with me for a free consultation, whether it be to improve your sleep or to get help with a dream. I'll give you some quick tips to be able to understand the gist of a dream.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I tell you, we'll have to do this again because you've cracked me open in all the good ways. It's always good.
I'm glad it had, it had that effect. I'm really pleased.
It did. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hold tight while I close out. And Sheila, you are a dream in the best way. So hold tight. My League of Eagles, you are most welcome. What a rich and soul-stirring conversation we've had today with our featured guest speaker, Sheila Balgobin. And as she said, you can find her in all these different ways and on these different platforms. I trust leaving you this episode with the Sheila, the Dream Decipherer, that you will be more than awaken, as I have been, to all the brilliance that she can share with you about your dreams. That wraps up today's episode of Leaders in Light, Love, and Legacy. I am Joy Ruffin, and it's always my honor to be your guide and your companion along this path of self-discovery. Let me leave you with a precious gem from our guest today. She said that dreams can be the seeds to so many good ideas or inventions that you can come up with. And make sure that you visit with her, where you can gain so much more insight. So whether you're drawn to leadership, signature style, divine femininity, truth, or the simple, profound power of living boldly, you belong here with us. So join me next week, same time, same place, for another transformative conversation. Oh, we had one today. You won't want to miss it. So until we meet again, remember, every moment is a chance to grow, to rise, and to live more fully. So my League of Eagles, soar high, and I send you always much, much love. Until the next time, cheers.